Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
In the year 2023, I met Christ. And before that, I would say that I never really had an ambition. I never really had goals or things that I wanted to really do in my life. Life was something that I was kind of forced to continue to do. During this time, my mind began to formulate a belief system, an ideology, that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I don't have the abilities to do the things that I've seen people around me. This largely came from my parents splitting up, feeling a sense of not being wanted, feeling a sense of also the fact that I come from a family that's extremely creative, very talented people. And I always felt like the black sheep. When my brothers was able to do things like write, sing, dance and all those things, I was always kind of the awkward one. Never really able to do it to the capacity that they was always able to do it. They always had a higher ability, and when I tried, it was just like, oh, it's cute for trying, but that's not really my thing. So I began to believe I was unable to contribute to pretty much anyone. Family, friends, any form of relationship, or really and truly any aspect of my life. I kind of began to believe that I'm just there. I'm there to be there, and it's best if I do my best not to take up space and not to draw any attention to myself. Be the person who is seen and not heard, and to be honest, rarely even seen. After building my relationship with Jesus, he began to show me more of myself. He began to show me what I could be. He began to show me what I am, to be honest with you. Showing me things like poetry, my love and ambition and talent within it, to be able to write, to be able to convey my thoughts and my emotions in words, whereas before, that was something I was unable to do. Whereas before, words always got jumbled up. They'll never be able to come out properly. The Lord gave me this avenue, this leeway to express these things and this talent that I can use to further my communications, not only for myself but for others. And since being given this gift, or unlocking this gift, and this gift being revealed to me, I started to have goals and ambitions and dreams and hopes and wants for things in my future, goals I want to achieve. I've said this before, I want to be the greatest poet to come out of the UK, and I mean that with my entire heart. And I believe I have the ability, and if I don't now, I believe soon I will. And soon is a relative term. Soon will be when it will be, but I truly do. But at the same time, I believe that there's also a part of me, this old belief system, that is constantly combating that thought. What I found is that this belief system that I had since a child, from literally probably like the age of around 10 to like the age of 18, I created this understanding or this thought process that I wasn't who I actually am, or I can't help, or I have no value, I have no purpose. And I think finding my relationship with Jesus and beginning to walk with him, reading verses like Luke 1:37, where it says all things are possible in Christ, or your famous Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, and things like that. I think that, in conjunction to where I am currently in my life, what I've seen has begun to just got me in this state of, I feel two things at once. Like, I don't know, this concept of coexisting within yourself is a very hard thing to do. And I have this belief system of I'm not good enough, and this also a belief system of I am good enough, and they're constantly fighting, I'm constantly swaying, but I'm trying to get to that point where I know that I'm good enough. I'm trying to get to that point where I'm walking the fact that I'm good enough. I'm trying to get to that point where the scriptures that I've read, I act like they're truth. The things that, the conversations me and God has had, I act like they are what they are, which is truth, which is my reality, which is my future, which is even my current state. I wrote a poem called Parts of Me, and I say in it, I close my eyes some nights, and I paint a picture of a perfect life in which I know that I'll never be able to live. I said, in fact, I close my eyes some nights, and I paint a picture of a life that I know that I'm currently living in the future, in a state that I'm currently experiencing, but still, the other half of me tells me it's not meant for me. And then I say, how can it not be meant for me? I've dreamed it. And it's this concept of, if there is something, a vision, a goal, a dream that God has put inside of me, what is this concept in my mind, this belief system, this trauma that I've begun to give into more than God's word, that I'm not who I am, that I can't do the things that I know that I can do, that I'm not who I've been told that I am. And I think dispelling this is something that I'm currently trying to navigate. But to be honest, I still fear being in this state, being in this place of contradiction. I still fear. I fear what it means to truly let go of self-doubt. I fear what it means to walk in who God says I am. I fear what it is to walk in the fact that God is in control. To relinquish all understanding of what I have said I am and walk solely in what He has said. I fear what that looks like. Because if I do that and still fail, then what is my life? But the truth is, if I do that and still fail, I didn't fail. It wasn't meant for me. Because if God is in control and I'm walking in the direction in which He sent me, and that door is not meant for me, that means that door was never meant for me. That door was meant to be closed so that I could see that some doors are meant to be open, some are meant to be closed, and then walk through that, in that, and go through that process. But I fear that because it then forces me to give into an understanding of God that truly and truly He is in control of everything, which me and my stupid human finite self and this state of wanting to control everything, this state of wanting to be the sole proprietor of my life, that I get stuck. I get stuck in this desire to control. I get stuck in this state of thinking that I can do everything, like I am God, when I'm not God. And today, I was literally scrolling on TikTok because I just was not in the best mental state. And as I'm scrolling, I stumble on our deepest fear. And the words that it said, it felt more like truth than, because I've heard it many times before. My mum's always said it to us. She's made us memorize it. And when I heard it today, I thought, my deepest fear is not that I'm inadequate. My deepest fear is that I'm powerful beyond measure. My deepest fear is the fact that I am everything God says I am. But the only thing that stops me from being all that God says I am is me. The only thing that blocks me from walking in my purpose is me. The only thing that truly stops me, not these temporary falls, not these temporary drawbacks, not these temporary states where things are not going my way. The only thing that truly stops me is me. My granddad said, the only time you failed is when you've given up. Cliche, but true. The only time you failed is when you've given up. So when I get to this point where I feel like a failure, I feel like there's no hope, I feel like there's no place for me to go, I feel like there's no purpose, if I really take a step back and I think, if God is in control, if God is the person that directs and orders my steps, if I've really and truly allowed Him to light my path and let His word be a lamp to my feet, if this is really the truth, then I have no reason to fear. And my fear is not that I'm inadequate, it is that I'm powerful beyond measure. And I think that is something that I'm trying to dispel, trying to not let it be a fear, trying to walk in the fact that, okay, cool, I am powerful beyond measure. What does that look like? If I'm powerful beyond measure, what does that seem like? If I'm powerful beyond measure, how can I practically live in this state of power? How can I practically live in this state of, I am everything that God says I am? I live in this state where I am everything that God says I am. Everything, every aspect, every word in which He's written, He's allowed it to be manifest in my life if that's what He's written. And it's this process of believing His truth more than I believe my own, because a lot of times my truth feels more comforting than His, but it is believing God's truth more than my own, because my truth is only formulated by the things in which I know and I've experienced. God's truth is formulated by a sense of omniscience, where He knows all things, sees all things, can do all things. His truth is greater than my truth. His truth will always be greater than my truth because He has a greater understanding of truth. And in doing this and being in this state of self-doubt, I'm robbing myself. I'm robbing myself. I'm robbing the possibility of my future. I'm robbing the people around me who I could impact. I'm robbing the people around me who I can and have impacted from being able to be further impacted. And I'm robbing God. I'm robbing God to partner with me so that He can be glorified through the works in which I do. I'm robbing God of being able to build a stronger relationship with me through the obedience of my faith and through the belief of His words. And I'm robbing God of what it means, of what a relationship could look like where I trust Him and I don't believe in myself more than Him. And it's that thing. There is no need for me to downplay who I am, because I am everything that God has called me to be. God has given me this gift of poetry, this gift to write, this gift to express, this gift to paint pictures and tell stories with the words in which He's placed inside of me. Then there is no need. In fact, it is a disservice to existence. It's a disservice to myself, to Him, and to the people if I don't use it. two things in conjunction really spoke to me this morning. I was listening to my project, questions I often ask myself. Go listen to that. And I have a poem on there called Cup, and at the end of the poem is a voice note from my mum, and my mum says in a voice note, you're called King the Linguist because you have a people to lead. She says, don't hide your light under a bushel, son. And as I was listening to that this morning, I felt it. Don't hide your light under a bushel. And I'm trying my best. And I think that, in conjunction from a line from my deepest fear, really sat with me. So I'm going to end this with a line from it, and in saying that there is not a single person in the world that doesn't have the ability to do great things. Everyone can do great things. So I'm going to end it with this. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in some of us, it is in everyone. And I think that is essential for how we continue to live our life.